Hello and welcome to day 10. Day 10 is all about nourishing with intention. We had a similar one to this last week, so just know that it is similar, but make it, fresh and new. Nourishing with intention, just like last time, it's with our food, with our movement, the things we say to ourselves, the thoughts we have, all sorts of areas where we can nourish ourselves in a more positive and happy way. Maybe even talking to your plants with love. I love telling that beautiful creature up there how gorgeous and wonderful she is. She shines all pink and bright. So today's intention is to eat and drink and move with love, not on autopilot. I think I put this in the chat a couple days ago. I have reminders on my phone, so I'll set like a calendar reminder, and I've set it to go off every 4 hours, starting at like 6 in the morning, just to be like, hey, have you eaten? And then within that same message I put on there, like, make sure it's 400 calories and 40 grams of protein. So that every 4 hours I'm at least reminded to eat something, make sure it has protein, and make sure it has a decent amount of calories. Just so that way I can keep going, keep moving. I've been on my lady time this last week, so I haven't been eating as much as early. I just have a different eating pattern when my tummy doesn't feel good. So I have been fasting a little bit, but this next week I'll be getting into my regular not being on my period, and I will probably eat a little more because I'm going to go to yoga. I didn't go to yoga last week, so I'm going to go to yoga this week for sure, and we'll need a little bit more fuel. So again, nourishing with intention. That is our theme this week. We're going to get into some movement. Actually, let's check out these journal prompts. What is one way I nourish my body today with intention? And how can I bring more love into the way I feed and fuel myself? I'm excited. I hope that you guys enjoy these prompts. I'm enjoying them. The reflection. How did it feel to slow down and be present while eating and hydrated? What would nourishment look like tomorrow? And I love that nourishment is like open to interpretation. It can be yoga, it can be food, it can be water, it can be a bath, it can be breath, anything that is intentional, I really feel. Our mindful movement today, we're going to do seated side stretch, seated cat-cow, tabletop bird dog, down dog, a forward fold, some Tadasana, and then Savasana. So, it's going to be great. We'll make it a little more flowy. I don't know why it says down dog right into forward fold, and then Tadasana right into Savasana. We're just going to fall down from our mountain pose, but whatever. So let's get started in our seated side stretch. We'll come to just a regular old seat, and let's go ahead and get into our breath first. So take a minute and we'll kind of drop in. Just take a few breaths. Become present on your mat. Maybe ground into this experience. Taking a few breaths. Let's go ahead and circle sweep our arms up. And then we're going to drop the right hand down. Come over to the right side. Stretch it long. Maybe you go all the way down to the elbow with the intention of leaving that opposite hip down. We'll start to come up, back to center, drop it over to the left side. Finding our breath, maybe coming all the way down. Back to center, and then we'll circle sweep those hands down, bring them right to the knees. And then there's a couple ways you can do your cat-cow. In a seat, the first one is hands on the knees. We'll start by shining the chest up, taking the head back, looking up to the ceiling, taking a big old breath. And then we'll exhale around the shoulders, dip the spine back. Maybe you fall a little bit back onto our tailbone. And then we'll shift it back, looking up, opening the chest. And coming back, rounding the shoulders, tucking tailbone in the chin. And that's one way. You can also bring the hands together. We're going to clasp them out in front, so they're just kind of right in front of the heart. And then we're gonna push the earth, push away the hands from the heart, find a round in our spine. And then we'll inhale and shine it up. You can also open up the hands all the way. And then we'll come back down. Back to center. That's good. And then we'll come into our tabletop. We're going to do some bird dogs. I might add in a little spiciness if you're interested. You do not have to take it, but it could be fun. Alright, so in our tabletop we're stacking everything on top of each other. Shoulders on top of wrists, knees on top, hips on top of knees. Hands are spread out wide, and we're engaged. Taking a big deep breath. And then we're going to step back the right foot. We're going to bend into this right heel. I guess press into it, not bend into it. Press into it. Grip the hands on the mat. Maybe you like to bounce it back and forth. Maybe you're making circles with the ankle. Maybe you're just pressing in, that's okay. If you want to press a little more, maybe lift up the left knee. That could feel good, you don't have to. And then we'll plant the knee back down if it's up. We're going to take the right foot up into the sky, and then we'll ground into the right hand. Lift up the left arm. So we're opposites now. We're finding our balance, finding our core here. And then the spice you can add is bring knee and elbow together and then take it back out. You could also take both limbs out to the side. So opening it to the side and then kicking it back out. Or you could just stay just like this. That's cool too. We'll go ahead and drop it down. Find a cat-cow just because it helps reset all that core that we just did. Alright, and then we're going to step back the left leg now. Again, we're bending into it, pressing into it. If you want to lift up that right knee, you can. Again, you do not have to. Awesome, and then we'll lift up the left leg into the sky. And then the ground into the left hand, lift up the right arm. And we're finding our balance. Maybe you need to focus on engaging this left arm. Maybe you need to focus on engaging the belly. Tucking that belly button into the spine. And then you can find your spice. You can elbow to knee, or you can take it all the way out to the side. Small spaces. And then we'll come back to our tabletop. Find our cat-cow here. Cool. And then from here we'll come into our first downward dog. So tuck your toes. Come into a down dog. Find a couple breaths, maybe a little bit of movement. And then we'll start to take it to the top of the mat. Coming into a forward fold. Allowing everything to fall forward. And then we'll slowly start to make our way. You can walk with the hands up the legs. You can just stack your vertebrae. We're making our way up to a standing pose, to our Tadasana. Once you get to your Tadasana, shrug those shoulders all the way up to the ears. Drop the shoulders down, maybe open up the palms. Feel that power and that strength, that intention that lives inside your body. And you can't see me anymore, but that's okay. Hi, I'm here. And then we're going to go back to our forward fold. However you like to get there, you can swan dive, you can just take it down. And then from our forward fold, we're going to step back into our down dog. Down dog. Finding a breath, finding some movement. And then you'll step it to the top of your mat. I'm going to step it to the back of mine, just so you can see what I'm doing. And then you'll find a forward fold again. And then same thing, we'll start to make our way to a stand, our mountain pose, however you like, however feels best. Feel free to adjust your clothes, adjust yourself. As Lacey says, your attitude, your face. And then we'll circle sweep our arms up, hands down through heart center. Take a moment and then drop them down to the side. At least you can see a little more of me now. And then we'll slowly start to make our way, or you can dive right for it to your forward fold. And then right back into your down dog. Into our down dog. Finding our breath. Make our way to the top of our mat again. Meeting there in a forward fold. This time we're going to step our feet a little wider than hips way distance apart. So we're making some space here. So when we forward fold, we can get really deep. So take a big deep breath and really fold it forward. Allow your body to come in between your legs here. Bring the hands down to the mat. If you'd like to grab a block, you can grab a block. And then we're just going to fold it forward. Maybe use your breath. As you inhale, rise up a little bit. And then as you exhale, go a little further forward in your forward fold. And then we'll slowly start to walk it back up the body. All the way up. Maybe shindy it out, wiggle it out once you get to the top. And we'll circle sweep up one more time. Hands all the way up, hands through down to heart center. Take a moment, maybe bow to yourself. And drop those hands down to the side. And then we'll move towards our forward fold. And then move towards our down dog. Taking a breath in our down dog. And then we'll come on down to our knees. We're going to make our way into our Savasana. So go ahead and wiggle yourself down. Make your way towards the mat on your back, however you see fit. And then we'll just lay down. And we'll rest our legs long. Find a breath. Nourishment in this pose. And then just like always, feel free to lay a little bit longer or meditate a little longer in your seat, whatever you want. I'm going to come up and I'm going to close this video. So we'll take the hands together all the way through down to heart center. Taking a breath with ourselves here. Once again, I'm very much filled with love and gratitude, and I feel so supported, and I feel just seen. Thank you. I've never done anything like this other than like being a participant. I've never hosted anything like this, so I'm just really grateful for you guys to trust me, and any and all feedback is welcome. Tomorrow we're back with day 11. Enjoy your day 10, whatever stage of your day 10 you're in. And the love and light in me honors the love and light in you. And my heart is filled with gratitude.